Are you an artist? How do you see other artists with similar style? Do you see them as your competition? Today I want to talk about competition in your art business. Good afternoon, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about competition, and in a business environment, competition is such a normal thing to talk about. And it's talked about a lot in a very rational way. It's like talking about weather, and it's nothing really personal or emotional about it. But on the contrary, when I was talking to other artists, friends of mine, and they were very emotional when they talk about other artists in a similar style, in a similar niche, or in the same region, and they were like, they are the enemies for life. And I don't think it is the right way to handle competition, because now you're running an art business and you really should think and talk about it in a more rational way. And that's why I think it's very important to make this video and talk about competition and how to approach competition in your business. And the first thing you talk about competition, you should be really clear that you study them and you know what are the competition in your niche. And when you are small, start super niche. Don't be afraid to go super narrow in your niche. For example, instead of doing street art, urban art, you do photorealistic urban art. And instead of, for example, doing landscape painting, you can do Normandy landscape painting. So you start from your region, and from there you establish yourself first, and then you grow. And instead of doing abstract portrait, you can do blue abstract portraits. I'm just making an example, and it's just some silly thing. And I don't paint myself, I'm a photographer, and obviously I don't approach art in the same way. Perhaps when you talk about your style, your niche, and you're very emotional and this is what you want to do, very well. If there is something you would love to do it. But just do it in a very specific manner and start from this little box. Put yourself in a box and don't be afraid to limit yourself, because one day when you grow, you're gonna explode and you're gonna blow up this box and you're gonna dominate the market. But start somewhere and start in a niche, a very defined niche. Once you have your niche, don't be afraid to make up a story. The story is very important. I remember seeing a statement, they say, oh, it's the artwork that is important for an emerging artist. The artist is the second. I agree in the sense that you should hone your skills and make sure that you establish your art in a niche and you push your product, right? Your product is the first and your brand is the second. Without the product, you can't make a brand like as a pure marketing idea. No, it doesn't work. You have to have a good product that solves your customers' problems. Yes, I agree. But it doesn't mean that the brand story is not important. The story is super important, but you should be able to tell your story with your product along. For example, you're making a movie. You should be able to tell this story in your movie instead of accompanying a 10-page document. This is the story of the movie, read my discourse. It doesn't work. You should tell the story within the product, which is the movie or your artwork itself. And you can also produce behind the scene videos to show your fans. And that's a great idea. Make sure you have this marketing material and the product, but you shouldn't ignore the importance of telling a story, because your story is the thing that's distinguishing yourself with your competition. After you have a niche and a brand story, now it's time to think about your community. Now you're an artist, you have a social media account, you have a website. Establish yourself in a social media of your choice and start attracting people. Maybe it's on Instagram, on YouTube, on Tumblr, anywhere you choose. And try to lure people into your story and build a community of die-hard fans, that they are checking out your art, talking to other people about your art, buying your art, consuming your digital products. And those people will talk to other people, and mouth to mouth, slowly you grow. So make sure you have, let's say, the first 100, 1000 die-hard fans, and they are the core team, and they will be the people who will accompany you throughout your career, support you, and contribute to the success of your art. and make sure you treat your fans well. That is to say, you include them in your plan when you are in a new place, make a vlog introducing your life. When you are, for example, making a new series and tell the behind the scenes story exclusively, for example, on Patreon, or give away some kind of sketches, merchandising, art print. Make sure you keep your fans posted, updated, and happy, and they will be there for you when you need them. You might say, oh, it sounds great, I have an idea, I have a niche, I have a story to tell, and I have an idea how I'm gonna attract my fans. But there is a problem. There are other established artists in this niche already. Don't worry about it, it's 2019, and anything you can think of, probably someone has done it in a certain time in the past of human history. So don't be afraid to go extra niche, to go extra radical when you build your story, and make sure you use digital tools to attract people, to build a community. And you are the second in your niche, okay, as long as you can make a living. You don't have to be at first the first one to do this and that. You can be the second and you just grow from there. And for example, Huawei as a mobile phone brand, it was not the first one who make a smartphone. It's not the first one who make the LED screen, Apple has done it. Huawei is not the first in anything, but they are able to find a niche, find their market, meet the market demand, and create a unique value proposition. And guess what? They are growing, and probably soon they will be the first in the smartphone market. And don't be afraid to be the Huawei, and just work your way up. And you have to, obviously put in the hard work and work many years, and you will meet your market. When it comes to competition, you may say, okay, my competition are other artists. And right now, not necessarily. For example, I have a white wall in my home, and instead of putting art, I can put an extra fancy LED screen to display artwork and TV. In the future, your competition can be LED screens, can be AI artists. So now you should think 3 steps ahead and go, okay, maybe I should collaborate with other artists, either in my niche or outside of my niche, to build a stronger brand, a stronger community, cross niche, so that you can have a market share in an ultra competitive future. So other artists might not be your competition. Your competition could be anything. Treat your fellow artists well. Maybe one day they will be your friends, collaborators, and fellow artists on the same project to compete against other competition in the market. Okay, that's all what I want to say about competition in your art business. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. If you liked this video, click like and share. And that's all for today. See you in the next video.